Welcome to another episode of Houston's Hustle Hobbies. This is a show where I like to talk about all the ways that I like to make and save the most money because at the end of the day, hustling is my hobby. So, on my first episode of the Money series, we talked about how to save money, and that was by going to the pantry. That way you make your food prep your food from the pantry, and the money that you would have spent on your food is thankfully now in your pocket. So I'll take this from there. Episode 2 is about banks, and that's coming up next on Houston's Hustle Hobby. So, when I was coming up and I got my first couple of checks, I went to places like this. This is a check cashing place. Basically, this place will take 5 to 15% of your paycheck and give you your money in cash. They can do that because they're a business and you are unbanked. This is why it's important to have a bank. So if you're still cashing your check here, or if you have one of those Cash App banking cards or Chime or whatever, this is why you need a bank account, because they're robbing you of your money. So when you graduate, your first type of bank is this regular conventional brick and mortar bank. This is a Wells Fargo somewhere near my house. I'll tell you the pros and cons of a brick and mortar bank. A pro is that the ATMs are readily accessible. The ATMs will not charge you a fee as long as you go directly to their ATMs. But the pros end about there. See, the thing is with these regular brick and mortar banks, when you put your money in, that money gets loaned out. And they take a huge percentage on loaning that money to whoever they loan that money to. They give you a very small percentage, something like 0.001% on your money. And what that means is, if you put $1,000 in this bank, in a year, that bank might give you $1. Okay? So your money's not really making money. In fact, it's actually losing money if you put it in a bank like this over time, because inflation is 2% and the money that you're making on that money is 0.001%. So you're not saving money. You're actually just parking money and watching it slowly recede in value while inflation takes it over. So you don't want a bank like this. A little bit better option than a regular brick and mortar bank is this, a credit union. See, now with credit unions, you have the same brick and mortar, you have the same access that you have from a regular bank, but I've noticed with my credit union, I have better favorable loan terms. And then that with your savings, it gives you a little bit more in savings, more like 0.007% instead of 0.001%. So if you put $1,000 in this bank account, you'll get an extra $7 for free at the end of the year. The downsides to credit unions are, I noticed that they don't give you good loan terms, not good loan terms, but you normally don't get, all of the money that you might want to loan, from the bank, because they're a credit union, so they're smaller, so they're a lot less connected than the conventional banks are. But still a very, very good option if you're looking for a bank. Now, the most powerful bank that you can put your money into is the online bank. The online bank is super important and extremely beneficial to you, because with online banks, they don't have a regular brick and mortar building, so you can't access your money via their ATM without a fee. But that's okay, because we're going to go through the benefits of them right now. Now, as you can see down here, you have 4.5% interest on your money. So what that means If you put $1,000 in this bank, at the end of the year, it'll give you $45, not $6 like a credit union, and not $1 like a conventional bank. This technically means that simply by leaving your money in this bank's savings account, you're actually beating inflation. You're actually beating inflation by 2% because inflation now is about 2.2%, something like that. And this is giving you 4.5%. So you're technically making that $45 and your money is very slowly making money. And usually with these banks, they usually have some sort of stock brokerage account attached to them. So it makes investing extremely easy. Now you see here, this is my SoFi account that I play around with. What I've been doing over the last couple of years is just simply investing whatever I make in my tips when I'm doing my Uber and my Lyft. And I'll invest them into my RoboSep IRA, which is basically an index of a bunch of different companies performing. And together, a robot picks them, and it charges you like a couple percent. It's not a big deal. But a robot picks them, and they usually perform well, as you can see here. Now, if you do this, patience is the key. You need to stop thinking in days and weeks, and you need to start thinking in years, 5-year quarters, and decades. That's the way the stock market game is played, but that's in the next episode. And with a lot of these online accounts, you can also invest into some smaller things that you might like. For me, you like Apple, you like Amazon, you like whatever. You can invest in any one of these things. Just for me, I'll show you what I got here. This is more for next episode, but I'll show you right now. I like Simon Property Group. That's the King of Prussia Mall. Walmart, of course. PBI is a shipping company. Stellantis is my car maker. And Lyft is where I do most of my ride sharing. So I figure I'll just invest in them, invest the tips that I get from people in them, and we'll just see what happens in a decade. Whatever happens, I'll do something with that money, but it doesn't matter. Now, SoFi Bank is a pretty good online bank. So what I'll do is just leave my affiliate link in the description. What happens is you'll get $25 in stock. I get a kickback. It's a pretty good win-win for anybody that does it. But find an online bank, Google online banks, because this is the best place to store your money, bar none. Another added feature is you get these. This is why you have a bank in the first place, because you now, after you have a good credit score, you can now use loans from banks as leverage to do whatever you need. Say you want to buy a car, say you want to go to school, say you want to buy a house, say you want to start a business and you need capital. Everything is here. And this is the reason why you have yourself a bank account, because this is how the world works on loans. The world opens up once you have a good bank account and good credit and good intentions of what you want to do with that credit. So that's me. I've been Patrick Houston from Houston's Hustle Hobbies. And as always, we live high, live mighty, and we live righteously. Take it easy, guys.